Why, hello there. I'm Sin. We're in the Book Nook, and today we're going to talk about my past, present, and future of books. What I've finished, what I'm in the middle of, and what we're going to get into. All right, so recently I finished the book called Lay Your Armor Down by Michael Ferris Smith. And this was a random book that I had picked up. It's about this woman who has dementia, and one day she packs up a grocery bag and throws a bunch of random stuff in there, picture frame with an angel on it. She puts some cash in there, and she just opens the door and walks out into the woods. And she comes upon two men, an older and a younger, Burdine the older and Keel the younger, who are, let's say, up to no good. They're about to go and do a very shady job. They're supposed to go find something that's in a church cellar that they've been told they'll know it when they see it, and they're supposed to get it and deliver it to an undisclosed location. So, woman shows up in the forest. They don't harm her or anything. And then she just continues on and goes out into the night. And Burdine doesn't seem to care, but this kind of bothers Keel. And the thing about Keel, too, Keel doesn't sleep much because he has almost what you might call premonition. And when he dreams, his dreams seem to find a way to bleed into reality and become actual, like, visions and stuff he's seen. So he has that. And he had a premonition of this woman. And so he wonders why. Like, he knew this was going to happen. They were sitting in the middle of the woods and had a campfire. The woman comes out of the woods and he's like, I've seen all this happen. So you have that. And then these guys go and they make it to the church. But when they get there, there's like dead bodies everywhere. And no one seems to be stirring. And they're like, what in the F? Seems like some other people are on this job as well. None of them are alive. Okay. This can't be good. They get there. They go down into the cellar. And then they open up the cellar and they find what they're supposed to acquire. And when they see what they're supposed to acquire, they're like, no, kind of like, no, dude, F this. This is not cool. No. But then in the back of their minds, they're like, well, at least the older one is like, the money, this, that, and the other. Keel's more like, no, dude, this is not okay whatsoever. But they do take what is there. And then people start to come after them. And then it's a crazy story. And it's like, basically like, will they do the right or the wrong thing? What will happen? Will people die? And it's super weird. There's like this one line in it, and I'll read you it because I thought it was quite haunting. The truth about the world is that everything is possible. You are a part of that now. You've become part of the hand of God, and the hand of God is soaked in blood. And so you have somewhat of a religious arc into it. It makes it intense and scary. The belief that what Burdine and Keel now harbor has some strange mystical power and what have you. And is it true that it has a mystical power? Well, you'd have to read it to find out. And like I said, this is a random book I picked up. It was so good. I loved it. It was really great. It's not that long. Just a bit over 200, maybe 250 pages. Okay, so now I'm in the middle of reading Watching Evil Dead, Unearthing the Radiant Artist Within by Josh Malerman. This is his latest book. It comes out September 16th. I believe that's the release date, pretty sure. If it's not, I'll put something that says the actual release date down here in the video. I'm a big Malerman fan, you may know if you've been around the channel, and his nonfiction is pretty fantastic. I am maybe 150 pages in, and there'll be magic in those pages. It is very inspiring. The words jump off the page. It's electric. It's just, for anyone who is a creative, it's about writing, but it's also about creativity in general. And it's such an awesome read so far. I love getting a peek behind the curtain. Like, he's sharing part of his life that is pretty wild, and you get to see a little bit of who he is and how he works and how he writes and what the process is and like the people in his life and all that stuff. And it's pretty fantastic. I can't wait to read more of it tonight. Honestly, like, I've been flying through the pages. Would I say it's an addictive read? I would say yeah. And it's one I feel like I will reread this. Just like I've reread Stephen King's On Writing. Like, it's very inspiring and magical. So, really enjoying that. Now, let me tell you what I'm going to get into. First up, we have Fine Shade by Kate Griffin. And this is a book that is a horror. And Andrew, who watches the channel, had recommended this one as amongst a bunch of other ones that he had read. And look at that cover. It's freaking pretty. Let's tell you what this one's about. On the day of her beloved grandmother's funeral, Marta discovers that she is to become governess to the young daughter of Sir William Pritchard. Separated from her lover and discarded by her family, Marta has no choice but to journey to Pritchard's ancient and crumbling house, Fineshade, in the wilds of Derbyshire. All is not well at Fineshade. Marta's pupil, little Grace, can be taught nothing, and Marta takes no comfort from the silent servants who will not meet her eye. More intriguing is that Sir William is mysteriously absent, and his son and heir, Vaughan, is forbidden to enter the house. Marta finds herself drawn to Vaughan despite the warnings of the housekeeper that he is a danger to all around him. But Marta is no innocent to be preyed upon, guided by the dark gift taught to her by her grandmother. She has made her own plans, and it will take more than a family riven by murderous secrets to stop her. Murderous secrets! So, Fineshade. Looking forward to reading this one. I think this is a Gothic one. Okay, next up is A Far Better Thing by H.G. Parry. And I picked this up because I loved the book I read by them called The Scholar and the Last Fairy Door. And so I wanted to read more by the author because I really enjoyed that book. And that was a random one I picked up too. This one, not random anymore because I really like the author. So let's tell you about it. Also, love the cover. The fairies stole Sidney Caron as a child and made him a mortal servant of the realm. Now he has the rare opportunity for revenge against the Fae and Charles Darnay, the changeling left in his stead. It will take magic and cunning, cold iron and realm silver to hide his intentions from human and Fae and bring his plans to fruition. Shuttling between London and Paris during the Reign of Terror, generations of violence, begetting violence, lead him to a heartbreaking choice in the shadow of the guillotine. So, that sounds intense. A Far Better Thing. Let's see how this is. Like I said, I really enjoyed the other book I read by this author, so hopefully this one will be just as fun. So out of all these, the book I'm the most excited to read is the Josh Malerman book. It's pretty great so far. And it's talking about, too, like how it ties in what a pivotal moment watching the movie The Evil Dead. I don't know if you've ever seen that movie. It's a quite fantastic horror movie that was made by Sam Raimi, starring Bruce Campbell and others in it, and it was, for the times, groundbreaking, and it's still like a very like significant horror movie that was made, and it kind of talks about like the inspiration he saw in that and took from that, and then there's just so much more in that book. But yeah, like I said, there'd be magic in those pages. Yeah, I am a huge fan of when authors write nonfiction books, like Stephen King's on writing. I really liked Anne Lamott's Bird by Bird and her nonfiction books in general. What's funny about Anne Lamott is like I don't like her fiction. Just I've tried a couple times to read it and haven't enjoyed it, but her nonfiction is fan-freaking-tastic. Absolutely love it. That's just my opinion. I'm sure other people like her fiction. Josh, I've so far now like his fiction and nonfiction, and same with Stephen King. If you're interested in any of these books, I will have links to those down below. Those are affiliate links, so a small portion of that can possibly go to myself, and it also goes to support indie bookstores. And if you enjoyed hanging out today, hit that subscribe button, come back, see me again, and we'll talk about more bookish things and weird stuff.